Good evening, everyone. This is Hare Krishna. So I'm just going to discuss about my assessment T, uh, um, EDGCT5008. So I'm going. I have I have 16 courses in my Masters of Enterprise Systems and Business Analytics, where I choose 7413 Supply Chain Operations and Management course, which is delivered in third semester. Students should need to complete three minimal SAP courses before they study 7413, and it is having 15 credits. So this course mainly explains how the supply chain process works in a real enterprises like corporates, especially learning vendor and customer process through the workflow using SAP S4HANA. And overall, students will learn theoretical and practical knowledge, where they actually do the gameplay, and through the gameplay they do collaborative group activities, and they also learn simulated workflow by doing all the lab work and writing three major reflective journals. So this practical game-based lab access, peer activities, collaboration, communication, interpersonal and team building skills will be built while they are doing and implementing the assessments. And they also give a final presentation, and they apply the knowledge by writing the assessments. Currently, one industry partner can come to share their knowledge from industry. I wish to introduce a few things which are industry teacher partnerships, students to teacher partnerships, and group of students and teacher partnerships, and teacher to teacher from same and different disciplines as community after practice. So, graduate attributes examples is problem solving skills and critical thinking and resilience. So basically, students are encouraged. Collaboration encourages students to interact with a broader group of students than they may generally do and challenge their work methods. A massive array of sub skills and social interactions that enables to work collaboratively with others, like both peers and management. In the learning process, like blended learning and hybrid models and learning analytics, as you know that like the last 2 years, based on situations like COVID-19, we actually introduced the blended uh, training, and so if we would continue the similar pattern for the futures, that's going to be good. And assessment by design based on pre-class, in-class, and after-class activities. So which I'm actually developing in my labs. So as part of the lab is having a larger content. So pretty hard to let everything on the in 2 hours time. So I actually release some of the pre-class videos. So and running the software session, and they can actually look at and watch that video and gain some knowledge before they're going to come into the class. That's a compulsory thing. I'm just doing it. Learning analytics, connecting libraries and learning analytics for students access is challenging. To show the results, there are um, there are many compliance issues. Somewhat this hides the people names and identification and offers only the content. And according to the hall, he focused to frameworks, communities of teaching and learning, mainly communities of practice. Someone with less knowledge of subject acquire greater knowledge and awareness through their direct involvement in appropriate activities. In my today's class, I have given overall assignment to four groups of students to create a collaborative group task. Each group should discuss part of the assignment. So time given 10 minutes to prepare. I have given each team free to talk in class by any member from the team, and briefed some inspirational speech how that could help them to achieve their employability. If I would select same or similar students to do the curriculum development that will reap the benefits of the course, I have asked one of the students how was the class and feeling. They are so happy to participate. Uh, Two-way interactions in class will help better understanding than the concept. So, by equal participation by two parties. Resident reflections will help teachers own practice. Staff also knowledge that through the involvement of a student participation in learning and development, they felt that they are independent rather than passive recipient of knowledge. Based on my learning in this course and research, I have created my brainstorming mind map as above. Firstly, students as a partner through community enhancement opportunities, students can participate in curriculum development. So, in curriculum development, these are the um, things I wish to implement. So teacher uh, from the same discipline, student to student, student and teacher collaboration, and group students and teacher collaboration. Document all partnerships and co-teacher and co-research co-creator, and document all partnerships. You have identified challenges and implement to overcome the challenges. So basically, like we are not actually um, writing anywhere, so that's why we just have to find out the challenges. If I got the challenges, implement those challenges based on the things, and then write in the procedures. So improve the teaching practice through considering the practice lens has traditionally been referred as the disciplinary expertise. However, the recently we have broadened that expertise to include others of similar passion or concern. The community of practice. Community of practice are a group of people who share a concern or passion for something they do and learn how to do it better as they interact regularly. It encourages structured and semi-systematic approach to continual improvement for focus areas and provides an ability to share and exchange ideas, build an existing knowledge, identify problems and concerns, and find ways to innovate in teaching practices as it is a proactive process rather than reactive. It focuses on sustained drive towards ongoing improvement. So when I just do so student student teacher or a student as a partner. So after all, I do it like I used to do the co-creation process and redesign and re-implement the contents based based on the contents provided by students and teacher collaboration. Design 4 years like based on this one. So I have this one in the third semester, and then once I got the feedback and redesign the subjects, redesign the course with the same um, with the extended content. So here is foundation of program and course design. So three credit attributes I have selected: collaborative, ethically and socially responsible, and resilience. Biggest gap is international need to be aligned, global perspective, not only Australian perspective. So we explain cultural differences and ethnic backgrounds, and in some of the courses we are explaining about Aboriginal content, whereas internalization is like most of the students are coming from overseas. So what I wish to do is we have to discuss their perspective with different countries so that international is going to be implemented here, and adding evaluation feedback and peer reviews, and strategies I wish to do is have introduced a global context example of implementing the lab scenarios, and the same group activity will help them to discuss and apply similar global context. Here we are conducting international fairs. So if a group of students are interested from our college and campuses, they can participate in a global context of this gameplay. Tailoring visual aids and video explanations, learning theories, which is a backward design in the three-step process, identify desired outcome by acceptable evidence, and then plan learning exercises and instructions. So desired outcomes, learners will understanding the business process flow by watching pre-recorded video, presentation, etc. And then sim game reflection reports, assessments will clarify students' performance and expected outcomes. And then plan learning experience, create the instructions as must watch video before attending to the class. And implementation, like each lab activity student must watch the attend the required lab live scenarios practice. Challenges learners may not be opening the video and start coming to the class. Conduct the gaming exercises with the people whoever watched the video, and the rest should watch first to attend the lab. Second, send a reminder using forums and Moodle messages 3 day before the day before the lab. Send the forum messages of application messages saying that percentage of students completed and rest should need to be completed to attend the class. So evaluation is first lab should run with students to watch the specific game to attend the lab, and second lab will run without the students to watch and do specific game to attend the lab. So take the feedback from learners and peers and assess the feedbacks. Next is the online learning teaching. So collaborative activity to review 10 peers to assess his or her created questions in forum, so that students can know at least 10 students with the overall cohort. So collaborative amount people in different locations. So and then biggest gap is major assessments are the only collaborative activities. Need to increase the class tutorial and online collaborative activities. Previously done first tutorial group discussion and brainstorming sessions. Expand the in-class workflow of the game. Give small topic and discuss in the group, and present the solution to outcome. So strategies is pre-group activities. One team give feedback to other team members. Introduce new tools like Socrative to do Q&A from students gets. And pre-learning is in-class brainstorming sessions for at least 15 to 30 minutes in each lab, and share the knowledge from one group to all the groups. Plan to implement middle of the lab session, have 15 minutes brainstorming sessions for all groups, and one of the team members from the each share their ideas and how they can better. And challenging water time management is the challenging. Need to implement the pre-class readings, and all students must follow. And feedback forms conducted 10 to 12 questions closed-ended and analyzed with analytics using dashboard, and re-implement the lessons learned from review by learners. Feedback piece is get the feedback from the piece by showing above feedback filled by learners based on blended hybrid model, pre-class, in-class, and after-class activities. And next is a blended learning and teaching. Biggest gap is previously done challenges with the technology, that software and right technology. Teachers and students can engage in more flexible and collaborative methods of learning. So, on which states that the blended learning allows the teachers to use technology to offer access to more current material, allowing students to see the relevance of the content they are overcoming. So, strategies once use blended culture, make sure continuously review and evaluate content for ongoing improvement, develop dynamics of student engagement, ethnicity and student engagement. Pre-learning is like make first contact before the course start, create an interactive activity. Quiz should be answered by 10 students. Ask students Q&A like contact hours of the course, number of assignments, due date, etc. And plan to provide the opportunity to quiz with by 10 students, and first completed student name should be displayed on the dashboard, and SMS link to all students in the Moodle. Ask a Q&A brief course contact hours, direction after class activity important before come to tutorial, and timely feedback. Challenge to outcome feedback should be reviewed before going to the class. Find out the students' engagement in the first session, and finally we get the feedback from the learners and then peers and student as partners. And the biggest gap is we're not talking taking any info or minimal implementation of the feedback from the students. Industry partners interacting with the students, previously done conducted collaborative exercise but not implemented. due to certain constraints, like no authority to change the course content. Plan to implement, provide the necessary books, and maintain the students to choose the context, existing content as a guide, and student can recreate the content by adding and modifying the existing content. Give the choice of dates and the time to submit assessments and challenges to overcome. How quickly I can implement the students' feedback. I need to access myself. Need also review the expert peer of um, mine from the same department. Feedback from the peers and then implement the feedback from the learners. Finally, the community as partners. So biggest gap is generic skills, public speaking, lack of interest. Most industry experts say students are knowledgeable but lack of humor in speech. Lacking employable to education providers. Previously done industry partners to come to the class and give the input to students. Peer reviewed lectures from same discipline or other create the interest by saying the importance of the course, so which they can utilize in real job and exam perspective. Strategies is student teacher partnerships of curriculum development and student teacher lab partnerships and presentations assessment based on and public speaking skills. Introduce pitch presentations that would help them to reap the benefits, and then they will be resilient once they are well versed to give the presentation pitch. Pre-learning content and activities to complete before attend the class labs. Introduce the topic of interest by students own and deliver it by pitch presentations before they give the actual presentation also this course. Plan to implement into students own topics to implement. Make students as partners rather than just learners by including them in student teacher curriculum development, and then group of student teacher curriculum development, teacher and challenges to overcome is identify challenges. Once identified, refine those challenges and re-implement. Feedback is once a student participates in curriculum development, take the feedback from students. Once peer reviewed the curriculum and take the feedback from the other disciplines. So align the other overall curriculum based on the university and education. So these are the things. I, so these are my responses. I missed to add these references, but I will add now. Thank you.